Southwark Leisure Centre, absolutely packed to capacity. People standing up at the back. More than 1,100 people in here tonight, and all ready now to receive the two fighters as they make their way to the ring. And McDonnell is the first to come to the ring, the challenger for the WBA Junior Lightweight Championship, the 9-stone 4 division. McDonnell follows Terry Lawless with trainer Frank Black and trainer George Francis bringing up the rear. And he moves into the arena, and listen to this applause. Come up, and this crowd at the Elephant and Castle get their first good look at the challenger whose slogan for the fight, as we heard on Sports Night last week, is "This is it." 5.5 years as a pro, he's waited for this chance. The lights dim, and now we greet the champion, Brian Mitchell from South Africa. So the champion over whom all the trouble occurred tonight, Brian Mitchell of South Africa, is in the ring, ready to defend his title for the 6th time. Brian Mitchell, a man who has fought in the black townships of South Africa. He's fought black South African boxers. He's never fought a white South African. And every time he's defended the title, he's had to go abroad to defend it. And most of the time he's had to go to the other man's country. He's defended this title in Puerto Rico, in Panama, in France, in Italy, in Spain, and now in Great Britain. Always taking the title to the other man's country and defying him to win it. 27 years old, a son of a professional boxer, Brian Mitchell, from Johannesburg. And the challenger from Camden Town, 28-year-old Jim McDonnell, bidding tonight to become the 5th world champion out of the Terry Lawless stable. We've had Jim Watt and Charlie Magri and John Stracey and Maurice Hope all out of that famous camp. Can McDonnell make it 5? So the fighters are in the ring, they're gloved up, and all we wait for now is our MC, Bernard Sullivan. Sullivan has a problem because the MC's microphone hasn't worked all night. So, no mic.
This is the main event of the evening. A contest of 12 rounds, 3 minutes each round, to decide the Junior Lightweight Championship of the world. Presenting the challenger, Jim McDonnell.
The crowd not giving the MC a chance, I'm afraid. This is the way they used to do it in the old days without a mic.
This match was made at 9 stone 4 pounds, and at the weigh-in today, McDonnell scaled 9 stone 3 3/4 pounds, Mitchell 9 stone 4 pounds.
Your referee is Mr. Isidro Rodriguez of Venezuela.
Isidro Rodriguez of Venezuela, the referee. Bernard Sullivan resorted to a bullhorn.
Mr. Uwe States are your judges. The World Boxing Association representative is Mr. Jorge Clee of Colombia, and your timekeeper, Mr. Tommy Rice.
3 judges score the fight. They come from Panama, Denmark, and a lady, Carol Polis, from Philadelphia in the United States. The referee from Venezuela is Isidro Rodriguez. 12 rounds for the WBA Junior Lightweight Championship, the 9'4" division. Jim McDonnell from the right against Brian Mitchell, the champion, making his 6th defense tonight. Professional since 1981, Mitchell. The referee checking the gloves are properly fitted. McDonnell's big moment. McDonnell on the right, wearing the white boots. Mitchell, moustached. And McDonnell, in my opinion, perhaps the most technically adept boxer in the country. And from a British point of view, hopefully Mitchell will find him a very difficult man to lay a glove on. McDonnell's never been on the floor as a professional. Only one man has ever stopped him. That was Ray Gilbody back in his amateur days. McDonnell has come through every one of his pro fights a winner. Mitchell has lost just one of his pro fights early on in his career. Mitchell is said to be a man who prefers to mix it with fighters rather than with boxers, but he's certainly got a boxer on his hands here. Mitchell probably carries the harder punch. McDonnell should have the superior boxing skills. Watching Sports Night last week, you'll know that McDonnell has this extraordinarily slow pulse rate, 34 to the minute, which is about half the normal person's rate, which gives him stamina, and he thinks concentration. Mitchell looking quite dangerous with rather long swinging punches, which have found the body of McDonnell already. McDonnell's body deathly white, in marked contrast to Mitchell's well-tanned frame. Pretty quiet opening round, and I imagine that corner will be quite satisfied with that. That's a big moment of relief there for McDonnell. You saw the big gasp of relief. He's got the first round over. He's on his way. And there's the record of McDonnell. 100% professional record, 11 inside the distance wins. And before that, of course, he was an ABA champion. Well, the last man to beat McDonnell back in his amateur days was Hussein Khalili of Kenya, and that was in the Commonwealth Games lightweight final in 1982 in Brisbane, Australia. He lost on points in that final. He rather thought he won it, but that's the last time anybody got a decision over him of any kind. 6 years ago, almost to the day. Mitchell, the 6th world champion that South Africa has produced over the years. The last time we had a Briton versus a South African for a world title fight was when Peter Keenan of Scotland fought Vic Tauil in January 1952 in Johannesburg for the bantamweight title. And Tauil won on points over 15 rounds. McDonnell is probably the least publicised top-ranked fighter we have. He's gone very quietly through his career. He was European featherweight champion for a time until the weight beat him. That was 9 stone. Now he's moved up to the 9'4" division and he's a lot more comfortable at it. But of course he was unbeaten for the European title. Never fought for the British title. And the early part of his career was certainly overshadowed by the exploits of Barry McGuigan. He was also a featherweight in those days. The general feeling is that this fight could go quite a long way. In fact, it might go all the way. Champion, anxious to force the pace. Mitchell with the moustache. Reputation of coming strong in the later rounds. Never considered a fast starter. And a complaint from the McDonnell corner about Mitchell's head. And Terry Lawless got very angry indeed at one point, and he's protesting to the referee now at this very point. Now he's turned his way back to the corner. But there was a most definite protest there from Lawless about the careless use of the head by the champion here, Brian Mitchell. Well, here's the world champion's record. It's a pretty impressive record, just the one defeat in his very early days. The only man to beat him, Jacob Maraki, a black South African who beat him in points in 1982. They fought again 3 years later for Mitchell's South African title. And Maraki was knocked out in the 12th round and most unfortunately went into a coma and never came out of it and died in hospital. And,
10 seconds.
well, you can imagine what that did to Mitchell. So 2 rounds have gone by very quietly. Mitchell has been making the aggressive moves. Landed 1 or 2 good body punches. Again there. And McDonnell biding his time. McDonnell's a good jabber. And he'll be wanting to get the jab to work fairly soon, I would think. He's had 2 rounds to size the man up. Good left jab by McDonnell. That's the sort of stuff he needs. That was a very solid-looking left jab in the face of the champion. Mitchell's been put down a couple of times, and the same man did it to him in 2 fights. Joe Rivera of Puerto Rico, he defended twice against him, and each time Mitchell was put on the floor, but he got up to win. Told not to hold around the back of the neck. Mitchell has suffered with cuts over the eyes in fights, and that, I would think, will be something that McDonnell will be hoping to work on. Mitchell's face quite reddened, so you can see that there's some attention has been paid to it by McDonnell. He's beginning to stand his ground a bit now. And it's all very close and tense as we come to the end of the third. Well, now, sitting alongside me is the last British fighter to win a world title. It happened only a week or two ago. Duke McKenzie, of course, our world featherweight champion. What do you reckon so far, Duke?
I think Jim McDonnell's fighting a very good fight up to now, Harry. He's boxing well. He's just not got to get involved in a punch-up with the guy.
No, he doesn't want a war with him, that's for sure. That's not his style at all.
That's right.
Have you seen many of Jim's fights over the years?
Yeah, Jimmy, you know, for my money anyway, he's the best tactician in the country. He's a very good, you know, boxer, and he knows exactly what he's doing, obviously. He's just not got to get drawn into a fight.
Right. I think Mitchell looks like a man who's had a bit of trouble around the eyes. The face looks a bit vulnerable to me, and I would think this is probably Jim's best chance, is to try and work on the eyebrows a bit. Yeah,
I think Jim can break him up with his jab, definitely. You know, he walks in with his face hanging right into Jimmy, so Jimmy should start juggling up on those jabs now.
Between them at this stage after 3 rounds. And this is going to be a battle of wits. Mitchell won this title in Sun City in Southern Africa in September '86. He won it from Panama's Alfredo Lane on an automatic stoppage in the 10th round. He dropped Lane 3 times. But he got cut over both eyes in that fight. And then in his first defense with Joe Rivera, he got a very hard draw. That was one of those fights in which he was put down. And again, he was cut over both eyes. So he does have trouble. And the atmosphere in this leisure centre at the Elephant and Castle, electric. It really is. 1,100 people, perhaps a few more, tightly packed in here. Tremendous feel about the place, small arena. And this fight, sponsored by Nashua, promising to be a really tough, close battle. Threatening with the right hand over the top. And Mitchell beginning to look a little marked around the right eye. And I think the key punch to this fight is McDonnell's left hand. And And now the champion's corner protesting about a low punch, and Jim certainly hit him somewhere on the borderline. And there's definite signs of wear on Mitchell's right eye. And he's not looking too happy. Fourth round. Good punch. The referee said it was a low one. It looked to me all right, but the referee told him to keep him up. And that was a pretty useful round for McDonnell, apart from the warning about the low punch. But there you are. You see what I mean about the right eye? Under the eyebrow now, it's beginning to look quite marked and angry. So there's a little sign of trouble developing on that right-hand side of the champion's face. I think we can have another look at one of these punches that Jim was pulled up about here. Well, I don't know where it was. I don't think it was there. Maybe this is it. Well, that one certainly was low. There's no argument about that. The right hand. And there was one later he was cautioned for as well. So it's all getting a little heated now. 4 rounds completed. Strangely subdued at this point in the 5th. Having to do a lot of chasing. He doesn't like fighting boxers, we heard that. But let's make no mistake, he's still a dangerous animal. And he's shown himself to be a man well capable of defending his title on foreign soil. And he's shown himself capable of coming through bad patches and winning. Those are the sort of wide swinging punches that McDonnell must watch for. Mitchell certainly no mug himself. He doesn't come straight at you. He comes in weaving about. He doesn't give you too much chance to catch him, and he's slipped a lot of McDonnell's punches. I think McDonnell's certainly got one of the coolest boxing brains in the country. McDonnell's greatest danger, it seems to me, here is the left hook. These rounds are really very, very close indeed. Well, we've had 5 rounds, Duke. How do you make it? It seems to me to be absolutely neck and neck.
Yeah, there's really nothing in it at the moment, Harry. I think Jim's boxing the right kind of fight. He's sticking to his boxing. Brian Mitchell's very strong, very, very well built. I just hope Jim doesn't get drawn into a fight later on in the later rounds, you know?
You see, you've said that he is a very, very good tactician, a good technician. Even so, Mitchell occasionally is picking him up with punches, so Mitchell's a class fighter, I think.
He seems to be getting through occasionally, but Jim is fighting the right kind of fight at this present moment in time.
Got to keep boxing, got to keep the left hand going.
Yeah.
Right.
10 seconds.
That face of Mitchell beginning to look more and more worn. Well covered up. The key to success here for McDonnell is on the right side of Mitchell's face. If he can only plant a cut there. McDonnell's trademark is certainly boxing, but he did say to me last week that if he felt he had to mix it, he was prepared to do it, and he wasn't averse to having a go. But it's early stages, even now in the 6th round, for him to start having a war with Mitchell. He needs to keep the boxing going. Mitchell plodding forward all the time, trying to cut McDonnell off. That's a good solid jab again from McDonnell. Those are his best punches. I must say, I'm finding it very, very hard to score these rounds. They're so close. Mitchell saying, come to me. Of course, that's just what he wants. But McDonnell will ignore that if he's got sense, and he has. Why play his game? Mitchell's second defense of this title was against Francisco Fernandez of Panama, in Panama. He stopped him in 14 rounds. He set him up with left jabs and finished him off with rights. Third defense was in northern France. Another 15-round points decision there against Daniel Londa, the former French champion. He had him down twice. And his fourth defense was in Capo d'Orlando in Sicily in December '87. He stopped Salvatore Cocchetti in the 8th round with an eye injury, but he was well ahead at the time, and he had Cocchetti on the floor. And then his last defense, he met Rivera of Puerto Rico for the second time and got a split decision over 12 rounds. That was the fight in which he was down from a right hand in the second round, but still got up to win. So the record is good. So halfway through, and quite honestly, I can't split them. complaining to his corner that he can't handle McDonnell inside. Strange thing for a world champion to complain about. Should be able to handle any situation. Mitchell's body punching is looking quite good. He's concentrating more and more on the body at the moment. Clearly hoping to slow McDonnell down. McDonnell still looks very strong. He's prepared to push the man back. The fleeting white ghost, McDonnell. Again, the body punches come in from Mitchell. Not a bad round for him. He's getting through underneath. Mitchell's best round for my money. Mitchell's done a lot of work in this round, and he's had some success with the body. And my estimation would be that that round would put Mitchell ahead in this fight now. And there's a swelling coming up under the right eye of McDonnell. Duke McKenzie, what did you feel about that? The body punching Mitchell was looking quite good then. He got through a fair number of times. Yeah,
I think Mitchell won that round. Jim got drawn into a fight, unfortunately, in that round. But, you know, there's still 5 rounds to go. There's nothing in it still at this present moment in time. I think Jimmy's just got to up the pace now, start doubling up on those jabs and pushing him back.
He's got a little swelling coming up underneath the right eye.
Yeah, but he's in tremendous shape. He's got the winning of the fight. He's just got to start doubling up on his shots.
Okay.
10 seconds.
And Mitchell looking a good deal more confident than he was a couple of rounds ago. Mitchell has made up his mind that he's going to have to chase much harder, and he's prepared to do it. He does tend to come good in the later rounds, and it's almost as though he's moved into a higher gear. With the leads. Mitchell is forcing his way through by sheer strength and determination. This is a good champion. And although McDonnell's boxing is holding together, the strength seems to lie at the moment with Mitchell, and he's looking extremely determined, and he's not going to give this title up lightly. That was a low punch from Mitchell, most definitely a left-hand low. And McDonnell looked towards the referee, but he found no sympathy. Coming from McDonnell's mouth. The going is getting harder for him. Well, there's been a most significant swing in this fight in the last 2 rounds. It started with the body punching in the 7th, and there's been more of that in the 8th. And the swelling under the eye, plus the damaged mouth on McDonnell now, all testimony to the way Mitchell has suddenly moved into a high gear and has come forward with a lot of ruthless determination. And the going now for McDonnell is hard, but he's still got his boxing wits about him, and he's still in there with a chance. There was one definite low punch here from Mitchell. It was a left hand. And McDonnell looked across to the referee. That was the one. But I'm afraid his plea was ignored.
10 seconds.
Opinion. And he's got some leeway to make up now, and he's only got 4 rounds in which to find it. Mitchell never willing to back up. McDonnell working very hard now to stay with him. May not have the power of punch to disturb Mitchell. McDonnell's work now falling short. He's not getting the left jabs through with the sufficient weight and with sufficient frequency. No worsening of the damage on the champion's face. And McDonnell most definitely slipping behind. Round by Mitchell. who increasingly is making the going very tough indeed for McDonnell, although to be fair to Jim, he's staying with it pretty well. He's trying to go with him, but it all seems to me to be on a question of punching power now, and the punching power lies with this man, Mitchell. I don't know if Duke McKenzie would agree with me about that.
Yeah, he's very strong, Harry, you know. He seems to be catching Jim with some nice left hook punches. Jim's just got to start doubling up in his jab, because I'm sure that's the punch that will break him up.
But the rounds are running out, and he's falling behind, so he's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, Jim's got a little bit of work to do, but he's just got to, as I said before, he's got to start doubling up with that jab and throwing the right hand.
Do you still think has he got the strength still to do it, do you think?
Oh, sure, the guy's so fit, it's untrue, but, you know, for some reason, he's just letting Mitchell out-hustle him. He's got to step back and start doubling up with his punches.
3 rounds remaining of this WBA Junior Lightweight Championship, 9 stone 4 championship. The WBC champion, by the way, is Azuma Nelson of Ghana, and the IBF champion is Tony Lopez of the United States. Using his legs well, he can't quite keep out of trouble, and even the big looping punches are finding him. And this is a hard championship fight, and it's one of considerable skill too. You've seen 2 men working here and know exactly what they're doing. Standing his ground, using his boxing brains, trying everything he knows here to take this title from this South African. But Mitchell proving himself, as he's proved before in other men's countries, to be a worthy champion. Big effort by Mitchell. Mitchell's corner signaling to come on, keep coming forward. McDonnell has not been able to find the sequence of punches that can put some doubt in Mitchell's mind. And now the other eye needs attention. Well, McDonnell's waited a long, long time as a pro. He hasn't had much publicity. He's been underrated. He's waited a long time for this chance, and he's still going to give it a good shot. But he's behind, and he's had 4 quite bad rounds compared with the earlier ones. So there's a lot of work to do if he's going to take this title now. And only 2 rounds in which to try it. whatever happens in this, has been some challenge by McDonnell. There were plenty of people who thought that Mitchell might overwhelm him. I wasn't one of them. I felt McDonnell had a real chance to win this title. But I think the strength of this South African champion is going to be the decisive factor. It's strong and aggressive. And although he's never looked like putting McDonnell down, he's certainly done enough in the last 4 rounds to give himself a healthy lead. Having a real go here, coming in, slinging punches. It's very un-McDonnell-like, actually, but he said he'd have a go if necessary, and he is. He's got to come forward. His own corner is signalling to McDonnell. He's got to come forward. Boxing on the retreat is no longer any use. Tremendous effort by McDonnell, storming forward. Slinging everything into this now. This is by far the best round he's had. But Mitchell still strong and still very determined. That was a tremendous effort by Jim McDonnell. He really threw his lot into that. He knew something desperate had to be done, and he came out prepared to do it. He's taken a lot out of himself in that round, but he really did storm into the champion, and he took the round away from Mitchell, in my opinion, and it was the best round he'd had. But it's all a bit late. There's just the 1 round remaining. And the champion still looks strong. He's had trouble with the right eye from quite early on, but it's never developed into anything serious. And that perhaps might have been a key factor in this fight if McDonnell could have split the eye, but he couldn't. So we're coming out for the last 3 minutes. Mitchell, a man who's known for his storming finishes. What can McDonnell do about it? The 12th and final round of this WBA Junior Lightweight Championship, and what a good championship it's been, between Brian Mitchell of South Africa and the challenger from Camden Town in London, Jim McDonnell. Coming forward again. What a strong champion he is. Well, we've been sitting here saying that McDonnell should never get into a war with him. but he hasn't done too badly now that he has decided to have a war with him. And maybe, this should have all happened a bit earlier. It's easy to be wise now. And it's now looking almost certain to go to the judges, 3 judges. We're in the final 60 seconds now. Mitchell fighting hard now to hold on to this title he's so proud of. This is the 6th defence he's made of this title. And McDonnell getting picked up with punches, and now there's a cut on Mitchell's right eye. It's come in the last 30 seconds. The champion is now cut by the right eye, but it's too late to matter. What would have happened if that had occurred, say, in the 6th or 7th? Who knows? The blood trickles down the side of Mitchell's face. We're only a few seconds away from the bell, and it looks to me as though the champion's held on to his title. But what a fight it was, and what an effort McDonnell made. Tremendous effort, but he was up against a very, very strong and good champion. And McDonnell, I think, has given his all there. He hardly knows where he is at the end of those 12 rounds. The effort was made, but I think we'll find from the judges' scores that it wasn't enough. But that's no shame for McDonnell, because the man against him was a very good fighter. Duke McKenzie, what did you feel about all that?
It was a performance of a lifetime for Jimmy McDonnell, Harry. I think Jimmy McDonnell might have just shaded it. There's nothing in it. Yeah, possibly, because he boxed very well on the retreat. It can go either way.
Really?
Yeah, that's my personal opinion.
Well, I've got Mitchell the winner, but we'll see. I hope you're right. So. He had a good 11th round, McDonnell, but he'd had 4 in a row that weren't good at all. And I can't help feeling those 4 rounds will have swung it for Mitchell, but I hope to be proved wrong for McDonnell's sake. So the scenes, the usual excitement and tension, and this crowd beginning to sing in expectation of a McDonnell victory. Well, we shall know very soon. The judges, Humberto Figueroa from Panama, Ove Ovensen from Denmark, and the lady from Philadelphia, Carol Polis. And it's their 3 judges' slips that are now being looked at. The referee takes no part in the scoring. This is usual these days in world title fights. And nearly everybody in this arena now on their feet and waiting for this decision. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner and still WBA Junior Lightweight
The champion,
is
Brian Mitchell. No scores announced at the moment, but Brian Mitchell has made his 6th defence of the title successfully here at the Elephant and Castle in London. But full marks to Jim McDonnell, the London challenger, who put his all into that fight and can only now be consoled on a very brave and gallant effort.
The big fight slogan, this is it, and it very nearly was for a very brave Jim McDonnell, but